what is the budget for PPC and how I should share this budget,
and then you're going to add the product and also add the 5 keywords and just create a campaign, launch it. That we are ranking, we are getting data, right? And data is the most important thing. This is a data game. This is not I don't know what kind of other game. This is a data game.
Those competitors have the winning rate on these big keywords, and they have sales from those big keywords. Otherwise,
that would be the idea. Think of it like Amazon. It's very similar. Like it's a search engine, right? It's very similar to Google. We are not inventing new stuff.
And if you want to rank this specific keyword, you have to add additions to this keyword. Like
second, it's a dynamic ad. It's the first dynamic type of ad, and the conversion rate and the click-through rate are just like over the roof. So
hello guys, and here I am, Izabella Ritz with Amazon Made Simple, and I have today amazing, beautiful lady, Noemi Bolojan, and she's not Russian though. She will open you. She will share with us her secrets today, and we are talking today about the very technical stuff, which is Amazon PPC. Everybody asked me, Bella, please share with us how to do PPC, how to do it right. And guys, I don't like to talk about PPC because it's super broad, and to be very technical and specific, you have to actually be as a fish in the water, which Noemi is. So Noemi, welcome, and thank you for having me in your podcast. Now, welcome to Amazon Made Simple.
Thank you so much. And I think it was just a perfect prelude to have myself or post myself within your podcast. So thank you so much for attending. Yeah, and I'm starting because I started just like that with a lot of failures, and learning about PPC. It took me like 24/7 of the past 3 years, So I think this is just like the brilliant topic to talk about. And as I was saying, yeah, most newbies, they don't know what they don't know. So this is why I love to like give as much knowledge as possible, especially to prepare them into the unknown that Amazon is, just giving them 2-3 words of what Amazon PPC is.
I bet it will not be just 2-3 words. And because our timeline is usually short, we're trying to put everything together just in 20 minutes. So my first question, if it's a new seller, they're launching their first product and they're waiting for their second or third product that is coming on Amazon, like let's say next month or two, but they have to start launching the campaign. Where should they start?
First off, they should start with the budgeting in mind. I think that's the biggest thing that people are not looking at, like budgeting, right? Everyone wants to launch products. Yet again, as you would budget for launching a product, PPC is one of those costs, right? So even if you launched your products, you launch your campaigns, most people, what are they not taking in consideration is how do you budget and how to approximate the budget. And also here, as you were saying, the scenario is like you already launched and now you're launching the second product or waiting for the second product, right? I would be like very cautious of first off, if you're waiting for the second product, make sure that you have budget for the second product, right? Because one of the most frequently seen mistakes of newbie sellers is like not budgeting at all for PPC when launching. Second thing is not budgeting properly for PPC when launching. And third thing is budgeting too low for PPC, which
so how to do it right? Tell us, like, okay, everything. So let's say I don't know anything. I have no idea how to do that. So what is the budget for PPC and how I should share this budget? How should I set up the bid and like put some amount of money on per each campaign if I have to create several?
Definitely. So first off, like my first rule of thumb is whenever, because you are all about like product launching, right? So I'm about product launching, right, with PPC. And here, what would be the most important?
We can launch together.
Yes. Of course. And I think like where you are coming from, the brain power of finding the right product, if you are going to mess up the PPC and going to go for the broadest terms ever and the biggest search terms possible, you're going to bleed a lot of money. So there, like a rule of thumb for me, for my tip, it will be first off, budget for 5 keywords, maybe 10 keywords, depending on how much money do you have to allocate for PPC, right? Finding the most relevant keywords to your product. So for example, if this is my product, This is, and I'm showing you guys, if you're going to listen to this only, I'm showing a mug. It says meow or never, and this is something that a cat parent would love to receive as a gift, right? So if this is going to be my mug to lunch, I'm not going to go for coffee mug, because coffee mug probably has the highest search volume, yet it's the most expensive keyword for your product, right? So maybe it's going to be I don't know, cat
Cat
lovers
mom.
gift or cat mom or something. Exactly. So always look at something that is broad, yet it's going to describe most perfectly your product. It's going to be most relevant to your product, right? And finding like 5 of those keywords would be your go-to place. Not going very broad, but still broad enough to like describe your product, right? And also using long tail keywords that would be like more than 3 words. Ideally, it's also going to help you. You can go then like take those keywords and have them in match, exact
And here's
matches.
meow.
And there's meow, and meow is coming, so I cannot not not have my pet in the podcast. So there you go. Yeah, but basically that would be the idea: knowing exactly, okay, which are the top 5 most relatable or most relevant keywords to your product, and first off, go for those ones. Yes, you can also create like automatic campaigns to see how Amazon sees your product, right? But most importantly, if you don't know how much those keywords cost you, sometimes it also might end up that the product is great, yet it's too expensive to maintain it on Amazon, right? And if you're launching on Amazon, it means that you just like created for yourself like a loss there. So knowing exactly your campaign structure, right? The exact match and auto in this case, and knowing exactly the keywords that you're going for, it's super crucial.
So, to my understanding, I have to launch the campaign with just 5 keywords that will be the most relevant to my specific product.
Yep.
And do you recommend to launch long tail keywords in the same campaign, or do you want me to create additional campaign with the long tail keywords and put them on broad?
Brilliant. All right. So long tail keywords,
I love your
it's not.
brilliant. My team, when they've been listening to the podcast, I
Uh-huh.
said, "Okay, guys, you have to listen for the podcast." And like, I was giving them some tasks and ideas, and they said, "We love Naomi with her brilliant,
Brilliant.
brilliant every
It's
single
a
time."
really good question. Yeah, it's a really good question. So, see, like most of the time, you would ask the questions that you're looking the answers for. However, those answers might not end up being the answer you actually need to listen, right? So, here it's not so much about the longer tail things, it's about the search volume. So, think of, as I was giving the example, if you are going to go for the cat mug and cat coffee mug, or coffee mug, why that it's not such a good keyword to go for right now, or it depends on your budget. But if you are at the beginning, I would say to go for something that is highly relevant. So why the coffee mug is not such a good keyword, especially if you're going to like add with other keywords as well, it's because it has a very high search volume. So always think of it, more search volume, more clicks there, and more impressions, right? So we are looking for more clicks, we are looking for more impressions. But if our budget is, let's say, $100 per day, and a cost per click for that specific coffee mug keyword is like $5 per day, $5 per click, like imagine how many clicks can you get for that if it's only one worded campaign keyword, right?
Naomi, before, sorry for interrupting. When
Sure.
you're looking for this specific keyword, do you use any type of software where you can see how much money potentially you can spend on this specific keyword?
Yes, so the easiest way to go about it, not necessarily software, but using Amazon itself, right? Amazon is going to give you exact details of whatever you need, whatever you want, and it's also for free, right? So what I would do personally here, once that I know those 5 keywords that I'm going for, I will create campaigns for it, right? So ideally in this scenario, the scenario is you already have the product and you're going to launch the next product, right? So let's say you already have the product, then it's way easier to add that add that product, create a campaign, in this scenario, an exact match campaign, and then you're going to add the product and also add the 5 keywords and just create a campaign, launch it, and afterwards you can pause it. And what you can do, you can basically just export all the data from that campaign, and that what is going to give you, it's going to give you the low bid, medium, and high bid for that particular keyword, right? And
Okay.
why that is so important is because we're talking about click-through rate here and conversion rate. What is really important to know is yeah, you can have a scenario where it might be that someone is going to need to click 10 times or 20 times, or in this case, when it's like a very highly searched keyword, maybe 30 times in order for you to convert. Conversion means that it's going to buy your product, right? So it's going to be very important for us to know what is the lowest amount of bid that we can place so we can get an outcome, and what is the highest one, especially if we are starting the new campaign for the new product, the new launch. Probably the strategy that we are going to apply is ranking campaigns, right? So this is why it's super, super important to know that. Did that answer your question?
Yes, you did. And at the same time, so when we're choosing the ranking strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should we stay with the highest bid for a long time, or should we reduce this bid in, like, I don't know, X amount of days, or whenever
Yeah.
we will see some triggers, or when we will see some analytics, like what is the strategy to start optimizing the bid and start optimizing the keywords and put them maybe on the negative?
Yeah, definitely. So a few things there. We are talking about ranking. So when it comes to ranking, yes, it's really important to have first off each keyword in exact match, because that means that you are very much controlling whatever you want to do, right? When it comes to negative, that's already the automatic campaign types or broad or phrase matches. So we are talking at exact match. Here won't exist any negative, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to leave that campaign on maybe for 3 days. And let's say the budget is, I don't know, $2,000, and over a time period of 30 days, you're going to split up that $2,000, right? And then you might end up with the budget. Don't quote me on that, because like without spreadsheets, I'm nothing. But don't, but let's say it's like $50 per day, right? And then for ranking, you might end up at 12 o'clock in the evening to just like spend all the money, right? But what we are getting here, it's not necessarily that we are ranking, we are getting data, right? And data is the most important thing. This is a data game. This is not a, I don't know what kind of other game. This is a data game. So let's say that we are trying to rank one keyword, and at the like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we realize that we just spent all our budget. Then we will see, hey, where am I going with this keyword? Am I actually having money to bleed on this keyword? So let's say after 7 days, say we give 7 days to that campaign itself, and we see that we are only bleeding money. The question appears then, should I still invest this money to rank for that specific keyword? And is that keyword even relevant to my product? Most of the time what I see happening is like there are like these big words out there of like, yeah, you should be ranking and so on. But think of it like always, like step back, and are you ranking first off for the right keyword? And does it worth it for you, right? Most of the time, it's very simple to answer these questions very like quickly. Yet again, I think that if there's no thought behind that, the answer is going to be your best guide to failure, because there's no like a clear path there. Did that
Correct.
answer your question?
Yes, you did. Another question. So let's say we are bleeding money into the specific keyword. We understand that this keyword is the most relevant to our product,
Yes.
but we just launched, and we can tell like, okay, our competitors, they have reviews, that's why they're selling, of course. But we also can tell that, like, based on some softwares, that those competitors have the winning rate on these big keywords, and they have sales from those big keywords. Otherwise, being the big sellers or like best sellers, they would not stay and they would not stick with this main keyword.
Yes.
So would you recommend for the new products without any reviews on it to exclude this high volume keywords from the campaign till the moment where the product will actually receive some reviews, and then to get back to the same keyword, but till then just stay with the medium and low ranking keywords?
Yeah, great question. So what I would recommend, yet again, knowing your keywords and relevant keywords. So in this scenario, let's say we are going to look into roots of the keywords. That's really, really important. So let's say this, my most like highest search volume keyword is coffee mug, right? But a longer one could be coffee mug with I don't know, with black handle, or coffee mug with cat theme, or coffee mug with meow or never. So that's already a longer tail keyword while having the root, the coffee mug, inside, right? So our ideal battle would be here to first go for the longer version that is going to automatically pump us up, right? Rank us up higher for the word coffee mug, right?
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
That would be the idea. Think of it like Amazon. It's very, very similar. Like, it's a search engine, right? It's very similar to Google. We are not inventing new stuff. They seen an algorithm that worked for someone else. They copied it and they made it better, right? So it's the same principle here as well. Whenever you're going to go for a keyword, don't go just for like random keywords, but have a strategy behind. If you want to rank for coffee mug, probably you're going to rank for keywords that have coffee mug as at the beginning, right? Or maybe even at the end, But the idea is to have coffee mug within there, because then you're going to rank yourself voluntarily, actually, without paying for those keywords.
I love it. I remember when I was learning all the SEO and how to rank properly, and my
Yeah.
SEO background started when I was learning the Google SEO and all this, like searching machines. And back to then, I remember how I was always preaching to people, like, if you have the main keyword, like cute blondie, then you have to add and if you want to rank this specific keyword, you have to add additions to this keyword, like, I want to meet cute blondie, and that will be your first keyword. And then another keyword will be say grab coffee with cute blondie, and then another one, and then you are going to narrow it from the like biggest search to the lowest search, and the opposite. And then this way you have the high, not just higher, wider semantic core, and you have more indexing on Amazon, which is providing you more value. So I'm really happy that we're on the same page here. Thank you for answering.
Sure.
So when if let's say if when you're adding DSP campaign, and do you recommend to add DSP campaign?
Brilliant question. So just to be sure that we're talking about the same topic, DSP is not anymore, has to do with whatever it's offered by the Amazon from the Amazon console, right? So DSP is invite only at this point, and you have to pay for it. DSP,
Oh, really? Since when?
DSP? Yes,
Yeah.
you do have to. Yeah, you do have to pay. If you want to have DSP ads, you have to pay. Either you go through the Amazon route, so they are going to make the connection and create the campaigns for you. That is
I
around
don't pay
50.
for DSP. I have DSP.
DSP? Are we talking about Amazon DSP?
Yes,
The
we're
DSP?
talking about Amazon DSP. Okay,
Alright.
maybe because we were one of the like first ones, like when Amazon just released it, but we don't pay for DSP.
That's interesting. I want to know more about that. So brilliant
Okay.
question then. So usually,
Okay,
like,
let's say we pay for DSP. Go
all right,
on.
go on.
You're
So
learning something every day.
yes. So DSP, yet again, we are not providing DSP, but I do understand the concept, and the concept is as follows. Most of the time for DSP, it would make sense for you if your product is, for example, if I'm going to sell my coffee mug for $5, right? I don't have the budget for it. I don't have the budget for PPC, right? First off. And then DSP would make sense for you if your product is a higher end, or either the product is going to be it's replenishable, so it's going to be purchased over and over again. Then you would have a lifetime customer value when it would make sense for you. But whenever your product is like $5, so it's a lower price range, DSP is going to be way too expensive for you, right?
That's right.
So the idea would be to start with Amazon already offers the sponsor product, sponsor brand, sponsor display, and then work your way up with something that already you know that it works well, right? And even if you're working your way up for DSP, go for something that you already know it works well for the other type of campaigns. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
And I know we can talk about PPC a lot and we can share a lot of tricks, but my last question for today will be, do you recommend to use Amazon video ads?
Wow, that's a really, really good question. The reason why I'm saying that is because when we started like 3 years ago, we were the first ones who benefited of this, right? We started with the idea that we want brand registry, and because we can run them than video ads, right? We were starting in a very, very competitive niche, and sponsor brand video ads were the ones that we just like blew everyone out of the water, and we just like had 10% ACoS, while on a sponsored product ads or sponsored display, the CPC was way, way higher. So 100% yes, that is something that I would highly recommend, because one, it might be way cheaper. So it depending on how competitive your niche is, but it might be way cheaper than the other type of ads. Second, it's a dynamic ad. It's the first dynamic type of ad, and the conversion rate and the click-through rate are just like over the roof. So let's say for the sponsored product is 2% click-through rate. For a sponsored brand video ad, it's going to be maybe 20%, 30%. So yes, highly, highly recommend. If you can invest $500 or even less, or you are going to make the videos yourself, definitely I would recommend them.
Would you recommend to use any videos from like TikTok for your video ads on Amazon inside of your Amazon Seller Central account?
All right, so I love this question, and 100% yes. The way how I like to explain also to our clients and also to friends what it's about, this video type of ad. Imagine it, the way how I see Amazon, they started out with this type of ad is because they've seen like TikTok, Facebook, or so on, Reels, Instagram. They've seen that video is working really well. So here, what I would even suggest, if it's possible, take those ads and run those ads, because then people will see similarities, right? So when they're on Amazon, finally something pops up that they are familiar with, like Reels, right? So,
Yep.
or the Facebook ad or TikTok ads or something like that, they're familiar with, and it's like even highly likeliness to show up. Only thing that I'm not sure of, it's I'm not sure if the logo, like for example, if you're going to take the exact TikTok or Reel ad, if the branding is allowed or not.
Yeah, you can. To my knowledge, you cannot show the brand, but you can always cut the video and remove the
best experience. Yes, that's the end goal. Yeah, of course.
I love it. Naomi, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge today. I believe it's only first session from like many others that we're going to record with you if you will want to attend again and share your knowledge with Russian audience. And I reminding you that this video is going to be with Russian subtitles, which is mean two audience will be able to listen, people who speak Russian and people who speak English. So you did a good job today, and thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for showing up. And do you want to add something else?
No, I just like, that's it. PPC is a beast, and if you're unaware of it, if you want to launch on Amazon, you should be, that's the first thing. The product can be brilliant, and if the PPC is not there, unfortunately, the product won't be seen. So definitely PPC and product and your listing as well, they go hand in hand together. Thank you so much for having me on.
I forgot to ask how people can find you.
Oh yeah, sure, of course. So
do you feel comfortable to share knowledge with people like outside of this video?
100%, yes, of course. So I'm co-founder of ScaleWave. We are a digital marketing agency, and the easiest way to find me actually would be Noemi at scalewave.io. I'm happy to answer all your questions, and yeah, really, definitely, I'm happy to answer all the questions. Other way to find me, I'm also co-host of the Wizard of Ecom podcast. There's where I had the pleasure to host Izabella on, and there also it's wizard.ecom.com, yes, and yeah, that's two ways to find me.
We'll see you there then. Thank you so much again. Have a good day today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.